Hey guys, what's up? My name's La-Rith-Ian, and this is part 2 of how a returning OG player views the new operators. I'll go over the premise for anyone who hasn't seen part 1. It's been about a week since I've come back to Siege, since I used to play during the Frost and Buck season. I know it's been a long time since then, so basically I'll be going over all the operators, update by update. I won't be going very in depth and talking about guns, scopes, and gadgets. I'll mainly just be talking about how I feel about the operator abilities and how useful or dumb I think they are. We left off at Operation Grim Sky in part 1, so here we'll be continuing with Operation Wind Bastion. It added Cade and Nomad. It's an update I have mixed feelings on. I'll go and touch on what I mean by that in a moment, but for now let's go ahead and just talk about Cade.
Come, break your back against a mountain.
With the ability to throw a stick at anything and electrify it, he's a very useful operator. You can electrify hatches, preventing a top-down entry, electrify 2 walls at once, and even throw them at the top of the wall, making it harder to EMP. While Bandit may give you the ability to bandit trick, I'd much rather go with Cade to take care of hatches, just throw them and be done with it, rather than sitting at the wall, picking it up, and putting it back down over and over. I'm pretty lazy. I like something that's a lot more simple. Now, time to talk about my mixed feelings.
On the highest peaks I found the wind. Now, I let it clear my path.
You know, with a lot of operators in this game, you could say I have a love-hate relationship with them. Whereas Nomad, I have a hate relationship with her. While I think she's a very useful operator, I find her so irritating to play against, and I've honestly rage quit more times than I can count playing against her. It doesn't matter how good I am, the second I come into contact with her proximity mine, I'm flung away under the ground and put into an animation where I'm getting it. It basically results in an easy kill for the enemy team, and there's not much you can do to prevent it, besides knowing where she shoots it and just avoid that part of the room. I like Cade, I think he's a very useful operator. I don't think he's broken at all, but when it comes to Nomad, I hate her. She's also useful, but I think she's broken and shouldn't be in the game. That's what I meant when I said I had mixed feelings about this update.
Gridlock and Mozzie in pursuit! Out! Gridlock, deploy tracks!
Unlike Wind Bastion, Operation Burnt Horizon added 2 balanced, unique, and fun operators, Gridlock and Mozzie. I haven't gotten a chance to play these 2 very much, but I have nothing but good things to say about them. Starting off with Mozzie. She has a robot that catches and hacks enemy drones if they get too close. This gives you the ability to both deny the enemy information, but also set them up throughout the map to give your team more information. A very good operator in my opinion. While Gridlock isn't as useful as Mozzie in my opinion, she still has an ability with great utility in a lot of different situations. Her ability is to throw down track stingers that deploy several hexagonal spikes until it's destroyed or covers the area. This can be used in a lot of different situations. You can use it to lock down an area, to cover your back from roamers, or lock an enemy in a room. She requires a bit of thinking, but if used correctly can greatly help in a fight, and honestly I like the idea, it's pretty unique. We'll be covering Operation Phantom Sight next, in which Nock and Warren were released. Starting off with Nock, who is the character I want to buy next, because I've seen a lot of gameplay of him, and he honestly seems really fun to play. His operation ability is to make him completely silent, similar to Cav, as well as become completely invisible to cameras. If you're looking to push the objective and catch the enemy off guard, Nock's the one for you. Warden, on the other hand, if I'm being completely honest, I don't understand why people play him so much. His ability is to see through smokes and flashbangs, so I can understand if the enemy team is playing Ying, or running flashbangs as his gadget, or is playing glass with smokes, but he's more of a counter-pick character, and I don't get why I see so many people picking him first round. Nothing bad to say about him, he's definitely got his use, just that he only shines in very specific situations. Phantom Sight was a pretty good update, glad they added some more very unique operators. Speaking of unique operators, let's talk about Operation Ember Rise, which added Amaru and Goyo. I've yet to play either of these characters, but I've seen them in action quite a few times.
You wanna eat?
Sure, but it's your turn to pay.
Oh, man. So look, remember this morning when we recovered the stolen artifacts? Those guys might have noticed me. Things got a little heated. Then there was that beautiful moment. Me making my escape. Enemies in hot pursuit. You taking that shot, covering my back, and giving me a boost. Que paja causa. But I, lost my wallet and all the excitement.
Don't worry. I got you.
Ah, just kidding. Hey, Paya. It's on me tonight.
Gracias, tía.
That's a Capcan trap, man.
Amaru basically grapples to a window, door, or broken hatch and smashes through it. She's your girl if you're looking to go in fast, loud, and guns blazing.
How is that bandit ready for me while I'm wrong?
Goyo, on the other hand, is quite the opposite. She's all about bunkering down, since her ability is deployable shields with an incendiary bomb on the back. She's very useful to hold down point using her shields, and if they start getting too close, you can shoot them to buy some time or kill them by spreading fire everywhere. Since I've left the game, Ubisoft really went all out on coming up with unique operators. Honestly, my running theory is they got a bunch of designers into one room, gave them some whiteboards and a couple pounds in the Mary J, and that's how they came up with all these operators. Because, I mean, think about it, man. A fucking character that basically just puts gasoline cans all around the objective. It's wild, man. It's wild. Our next update, Operation Shifting Tides, added Callie and Wamai. These two operators are very similar to some OG operators, but they're also very unique in their own ways.
You've heard my price. If it's too high, then we've nothing left to discuss. You think I run a charity? I have investors unlike you. And they expect a return. Call me when you're serious. Payment received. I'll bring my best man. Wamai, prep for phase 2.
For example, Callie and Glass are both snipers, but Callie has no thermal and can also break walls like a shotgun. She actually has so much power that she can get a 5k in one bullet, or break a castle and hatch in one shot as well. Her special ability is the underbarrel that shoots a small explosive that goes through reinforced walls and explodes to disable enemy gadgets within a certain distance. Examples would be bulletproof cameras, bandits, barbed wire. I don't think her underbarrel is that useful, but I think her as an operator is very useful because honestly, everyone plays her for a powerful sniper. I don't know many people who are picking Callie to play her for the underbarrel. Just like Callie, Wamai is also very similar to another OG operator, Jaeger. But again, he's also very unique. Wamai has a throwable disc that catches all projectiles within a certain distance, brings them into the disc, and delays the effect. Unlike Jaeger, Wamai's ability generates over time instead of having a set amount, so he can stop much more projectiles than Jaeger, though there's definitely pros and cons to them both. Jaeger eliminates the projectiles, whereas Wamai pulls them away and delays them. Jaeger can place all his devices down in prep phase and go roam, whereas Wamai has to anchor points to get the most value. It's a give or take, and really depends on your playstyle to decide which one you think is better, but regardless, they're both very useful. Going forward with the updates, we have Operation Void Edge, which brings us Iana and Oryx, one of which is very fun, and the other is very useful.
Everyone's running from something. But the darkness within can't be vanquished by distance. It can only be tempered by finding something to run towards. And the promising light of new horizons.
We'll go ahead and start with the fun one, Oryx. My main man Oryx can run through walls at the cost of 5 health. Now that's fun as it is, but the man can also jump through hatches and charge enemies, knocking them down. Honestly, while not a very useful operator, I can't think of someone more fun when you're fucking around in quick match. I'm honestly glad Ubisoft went ahead and added someone this fun rather than focusing on some amazing game-changing ability. I honestly think this dude's simple. While not very useful, he's definitely fun to play around with and get a couple of laughs with your boys. Moving on to Ayana. Her ability checks every box in my opinion. She's unique, fun, useful, and balanced. You can make a clone of yourself and run around. This is pretty useful since you can get more information than you would from a drone's perspective. Also, you can bait out enemy shots to see where they're hiding, or even take away their attention while your teammate pushes from the other side. All in all, this was a top tier update, and I have zero complaints about the operators. Alright guys, that marks the end of part 2. I've really enjoyed making this series as it gives me an excuse to watch all the season trailers I've missed. I'll still be continuing the series since I've got a lot more operators to cover, so don't worry about that. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe for my future content. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.